Go.
Hi, Raymond. Hi,
We're
guys.
live.
Real estate. Hey, thanks for the hearts. Trying to keep this dress in place here. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. Well,
Where are we
happy
at?
Memorial Day, Kat.
Oh, happy Memorial Day, Dan. How
Yeah,
are things down in Renton right now?
they're beautiful.
Oh,
Just
good.
perfect. Yeah.
Nice.
I was out taking a walk earlier today. It's very nice. Very
All
nice
right.
day today.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. How's everything up in Clearview?
Clearview it's not clear. I can tell you that. Hi, guys. Thanks for the hearts. It's not clear in Clearview. It is. It's actually getting a little gloomier as the day wears along, which is okay. I like to film when it's a little more cloudy outside than when it's too sunny. But anyway, but it's also a little coldy. Thinking about going and grabbing my Uggs and a jacket.
Well, if you have to run in and get a jacket, that's no problem. No problem.
Okay, good.
Well,
All
let's get started. Well, we're gonna talk real quick about interest rates. 2 weeks ago, I think it's 2 weeks ago, we were talking about maybe a little backup in interest rates because they come down quite a bit, and that's what we've gotten, right? We've got a little backup in interest rate, not a huge backup, nothing to be alarmed about, but it has rates have backed up a little bit. I kind of think we're in a position right now where over the course of the next week to 10 days, you're going to see that shift, and we're going to start coming down lower. And it's just a fundamental reason is we're going to have the employment report coming out on June 12th. And I think you're going to start to see more speculation about weak employment numbers. And if we start to see that, it would make sense if we start to see rates come down a little bit. So we'll see. I'm not so certain about this week, but going forward after this week, I think, we've only got 4 days in a week, so it's not that big a deal.
So did I just hear you say that you think rates are coming down, Dan?
Yes, for about the first time this year, I will be talking about maybe rates coming down a little bit lower, yes. Yes. I never talk about those things. Hope. All I can say, Kat, is hope springs eternal.
Hope springs eternal. Yes.
But,
regarding that, I had my carpet guy get a hold of me today. Fantastic.
Did you tell him he's better on interest rates than your live caster Dan is?
No, but what he did say is that he's my carpet guy, right? Joe Murphy with Fantastic Floors, and he emailed me back after I sent him my stats by Cat for King County, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on with the market? It seems like things just kind of stopped." And so I texted him back, about 3-4 weeks ago when we had that spike in interest rates, the real estate market slowed somewhat. So about 10-15% less sellers are getting under contract within the first 7 days on the market than they were. So now we're closer to 50% instead of 60-65% that first 7 days. So, and in his business, he's feeling it.
Well, I think you're probably going to see that for the next, with the lags that we talk about all the time in the market.
Yeah.
I think you're going to continue to see, those lags. And so probably for the next 2-3 weeks until you start to see material drop in interest rates that you'll probably start to see in mid-June, in that ballpark. I think things kind of hang up as far as or stay pretty much where they're at until then. And then you'll probably see a little bit increase in demand. That would be best guess on my part, but we shall see. I'll tell you what, it is interesting. I was going through the stats that you sent over to me earlier today, the stats by Cat for this week, and we'll go over those right now. And it is interesting because it does look like, the markets are kind of, they're not going down a lot, but they're just kind of backing off just a smidge. And moderating a bit. But
right where they came down about 10-15 percentage points as far as how many sellers were getting under contract quickly. They came back about 10-15%, and now they're just kind of teetering there. So we're not really gaining steam, we're not really losing steam, but so we're just teetering back and forth right there.
Well, like in the first stat we have for King County. I've got that up on the board here. and you can see 49% have gone pending within 7 days, 60% within 14 days, and that 60% number undoubtedly is going to come down because the 7 day leads the 7 days leads to 14-day. But what was it, about a month ago or so? That was up around 72%, if I'm not mistaken.
72% for the 2-week data. The sellers getting in a contract within the first 14 days. And across the board, you guys, this week, we're seeing inventory increase. Whoops, I'm going to lose my TikTok people here. Hold on, guys. Whoops. Now I've got you at a bigger angle, which I don't need. For sure, we don't need a bigger angle. Okay, looking down. There we go. That's maybe a little better. Okay, so yeah, so the overall inventory has increased across the board in all of the counties, and that is because listing agents were preparing for Memorial Day weekend and decided not to put homes on the market the week of Memorial Day. And so I also made that decision. And so, what's going to happen is next week, we're going to see a lot more homes listed and that inventory number increased. But this week we saw an actual deficit. More homes went off the market, went pending Memorial Day weekend than came on the market. So across the board, I think Skagit County is the only county that looks like it stayed the same, but the comparison is still true.
Right.
So, and that's a really smart thing for listing agents to know and be aware of. It still can be a great time for buyers because there's going to be less competition overall. But it is a good idea if you're representing a seller to maybe wait till a non holiday weekend to put that home on the market to get the most exposure to the most highest number of buyers, because you're hopefully going to get multiple offers, right? That's what you're hoping for. And as a seller too.
And we were kind of talking about that. I don't think it might have been the week before. It might have been last week or the week before, because you did have a very, very successful listing over in Everett. And we could talk about that in a bit, but it was very successful. And you were mentioning you wanted to make sure you pushed to get that listing out for the previous weekend because you were concerned about this holiday weekend to get the listing out.
That's right. And as it was, we did only get 2 offers. And so had we tried to come on over Memorial Day, it's hard to say what would have happened. Maybe the buyers that were nervous that there was so much activity at my listing, maybe that wouldn't have happened, because I feel like that did happen, that we had such busy open houses. I feel like that other buyers were hearing that, other buyers were requesting the inspection report to be sent to their agent and things like that. And I think that it may have scared off a few buyers that might have normally participated in a multiple offer situation or submitted an offer. So, yeah, I do think I had to plan around that as well.
Well, it was a great open house.
Yes.
It was really impressive, and I hope you don't mind me letting the cat out of the bag, so to speak. But boy, the buyer, if I'm not mistaken, ended up flying out from Ohio to actually see the property before they put a bid on it. Is that right?
That's right. The kids, her kids, I don't know if it's her son or her daughter and their in-law, came out and took a look at the property on Friday. I spent quite some time there with their agent, John, and then the next morning they FaceTimed her, right, and her husband. And so their parents, and then they had Kathy flew out the next morning to take a look at it in person at 11 a.m. So,
that's so cool, bright and early.
Hats off to Kathy for making that happen. She was on a plane out of Ohio. I think it was, I don't know if it was, I get confused with the time change, but she was on a plane, I think at 7. So it worked out. She was here to be at the open house by 11.
She got out here right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a long day. Well, let's move on to Snohomish.
Well, can I do King first?
Oh, good. Get back to King. Okay, here we go.
Sorry. We didn't finish King, Dan.
Oh, sorry about that.
So we got 0.9 months supply of inventory in King County. Let's see. We got 49% of sellers in King County that put their houses on the market between May 12th and May 18th got under contract within the first 7 days on the market. 60% of sellers in King County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between April 28th and May 11th. 60% of sellers set offer review dates this past week. And we had 18 listings on the market, actually on the market. That's almost 200 less than was on the market last week, to give you an idea of how many got chewed up. So over the last week.
That's a big number.
Not very, yeah, it's smaller than it was, though. It was 16 something last week. So, yeah. So Snohomish County. Snohomish County,
Dan.
We are back to Snohomish County.
Back to Snohomish County.
So we've got 50% of sellers 50% of sellers in Snohomish County got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between May 12th and May 18th. 61% of sellers in Snohomish County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between April 28th and May 11th. And we had 47% of sellers set offer review dates. So that number has come down. It's now at an acceptable level. And Snohomish County has 0.8 months supply of inventory. So that has ticked back, just like I said, because, again, of the holiday weekend. So direct result of that. All right. So do we want to move on to Pierce?
Let's go to Pierce.
You know what I always do when we go to Pierce County?
Put on the denim jacket.
I put on the denim jacket. I'm going to knock over my lighting here. You didn't think I would use lighting.
Isn't the Puyallup County Fair down there?
Yes, it
That's
is.
the state fair.
Yeah, right? the state fair is down there. And it's actually really close to my client's house down there. The listing I've got actively on the market for $575. So,
you know what I got to get you for I don't know. It's a little too far off for Christmas. Just have to get it for you, along with the gimbal that I still owe you. Have to get for whenever you do the Pierce County and maybe even Snohomish County. We'll have to get the denim jacket. I'll get you one of those cowgirl hats. You know, one of those caps.
Oh yeah, you mean a cowboy hat?
Cowboy hat, yes.
Yeah.
I
need a cowboy hat. I also, you know what? I was thinking about getting myself some cowboy boots.
That would be good. I think that would look good. That would make the outfit.
All right.
All righty. Pierce County.
Are you ready? You are ready.
I'm ready. Yes.
Dan's paying attention today.
Okay.
40% of sellers in Pierce County got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between May 12th and May 18th. 48% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between April 28th and May 11th. And we had 32% of sellers set offer review dates in Pierce County. And Pierce County is sitting at 1.1 months supply of inventory. So just came back down a little bit. So,
you know, all three of these counties,
the only one that gets the denim is Pierce.
Just Pierce. How come not Mason?
Pierce, and then, well, we're going to do Mason. Mason gets black.
Okay, so Mason's up now.
Mason's getting a blazer.
Oh.
You know how much I like Mason County.
Breaking out the blazer for Mason County.
Breaking out the blazer. Oh, you guys, my hair fell. It's so humid out here right now. trying to keep my... trying to keep things together. Let's just put it that way.
we'll have to say the, let's see, Clearview, the New Orleans of the Seattle area with all the humidity.
It's super humid today. Yeah, and I don't think it was earlier. I think it's more just this afternoon. Humidity has just gone up dramatically. But it really is. It's really humid. I feel like I'm somewhere tropical, really, honestly. I don't know what my hair is doing. Okay. All right. So let's do Mason County.
Let's do Mason County.
All right. 29% of sellers in Mason County got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between May 12th and May 18th. 37% of sellers in Mason County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between April 28th and May 11th. 13% of sellers in Mason County set offer review dates last week. And 1.7 months supply of inventory. So, and that's, again, it's ticked back just like everybody else this week because of the holidays. So a little bit of inventory got chewed up over the holiday this weekend. All right, Skagit County. What do you think about Skagit, Dan?
I think Skagit looks great. Just great. You know what's nice up there in Skagit? When you're on the way up to Skagit County, I always like to stop off at the outlet stores up there. And maybe even once in a while, dip into the casino up there because they got some pretty good food up at the casino.
The Angel of the Winds, there's Quilceda, there's all the Tulalip, there's all the casinos along the way. And then there's the ones when you get to like Anacortes, right?
Well, you never know. You stop in, you put a few dollars on the blackjack table, and you never know if you're going to get lucky. Doesn't hurt.
You know what? I'm going to digress a second. So I was driving across the country with my daughter. This is when she was about 2 or 3, maybe 4. And I was short on gas money. And I was going through Las Vegas. I couldn't get back home. And you guys, this is like 1984, you know? And I stopped at the casino, put my daughter in the bathroom. And, maybe she's a little older than 4, but she was young. And I played a slot machine really close to the bathroom door there so I could keep an eye on her. And I won my $40 to get home.
Gas money. Thank God for Las Vegas.
Oh, man. I tell you, and then I stopped because that's all I needed. And I was lucky. Young mom struggling, you know. Jeez. So many years ago, guys. Anyway, all right, we digress. We did we do Skagit? No. Did we?
No, we were just about to.
We were about to start Skagit when I digressed because you started talking about the casinos, and that took me to my story.
Yeah.
All right.
That is
so
correct.
We got 31% of sellers in Skagit County went under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between May 12th and May 18th. 42% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between April 28th and May 11th. We had 22% of sellers set offer review dates in Skagit County last week, that is. And 1.5 months supply of inventory in Skagit County. And again, that one stayed the same, but I think the total number of listings did go down a tad. And then let's do Kitsap, huh, Dan? We'll knock that one out of the park here.
Kitsap County. Oh, my goodness.
Kitsap County, 48% of sellers in Kitsap County got under contract within the first 14. Okay, let's start over with that. I said a few things. I got my tongue twisted. 48% of sellers in Kitsap County got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between May 12th and May 18th. And they had 54% of sellers get under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between April 28th and May 11th. So a little over 50% getting under contract. Again, that number was higher 3 or 4 weeks ago, quite a bit higher. And we had 38% of sellers set offer review dates last week in Kitsap County. And Kitsap County at 1.1 months supply of inventory, and that has ticked down from 1.3 months, I believe, last week. So, again, they had some inventory chewed up over the holiday. So that's all going to change next week. So, anyway. So that's the stats, Dan. Anybody have any questions? Hi, Bob. Hi, Slick. Hi, Chaz. Hi, Charles. Hi, Jesse. Dan?
Yes?
Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm here. I was just, I hate to say this, but I was just thinking about the Stats by Cat listing book. You've got that brochure that you've got, and I should have thought of this sooner. Next week we'll start. But we could take the listing book in the PDF format and put it in the description and give it away to our viewers, because I think it would be a great thing for them to look at.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah,
I
because
forgot about
I've got a book for sellers, you guys, and then I've got another comprehensive marketing guide that I put out. Got a few free ebooks if you guys are interested in having some additional information regarding, real estate. If you're a buyer, putting together a buyer book specifically, branded with me on it. I've got, obviously we all have generic ones, right? I'm tired of those. So I want my
Yes,
own.
but your book works, and let's talk about what was working. Last week's listing.
Oh yeah, you mean like the 12 steps to
the
preparing
12-step program? Yes, the
12-step program. Yeah, guide to preparing your home for market. So I do have that guide as well. If you guys are interested, anybody's interested in the steps to getting your house properly prepared for market, happy to send that to you guys as well. But so, regarding my listing that I had last week, so I sold a listing in Everett last week. We listed it.
Let's bring up the before and after pictures there.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning. Let's talk about how we got to the point of listing it and then what we listed it for. So okay. When the client called me, and I had seen it preliminarily a year ago and then 6 months ago, and then they finally called me 2 weeks ago and said, hey, we want to get this thing on the market. Mom's house needs to get sold now. And so I said, okay, well, looks like your listing date will be 8 days from that day. So she called me on a Wednesday. And so I ran over there, met her and got the key on Thursday, took a look at it on Thursday. And it turned out that the cleaners that had come in really did a really nice job cleaning the walls, the appliances. They got all the light switches. It was pretty impressive. So the only thing that was really left were cleaning the carpets and staging. Those were the two big things. And then, of course, there was the yard, right? They had mowed the yard and edged it, but they hadn't mulched the garden beds, So that really was something else that really could make the place shine in photos and videography for the exterior, right? They also had the exterior painted, which was huge in my mind. So what we did the next week is we got the carpets cleaned on Saturday morning. I brought over mulch on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, spread that myself, lost a little weight.
I'm going to slide too, by the way, Kat, where you can see the inside and the carpets and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It turned out great.
So you can see some of these slides are after the carpets were cleaned and some of them were before, but the carpets were really very dirty. So I mulched, and then I realized when I was there, while the carpets were being cleaned, I realized the exterior windows had not been cleaned. The interiors had been cleaned, but the exterior hadn't. So I brought over my window washing kit the next day, and I cleaned the exterior windows for my client to save them money because they didn't want to spend any more money, right? So we got the carpets cleaned, stretched, and patched. Wow. One carpet company, Direct Carpet out of Snohomish. Love them. Marcelo, nice work. And then I called a stager on Friday. I'm like, I just really feel like we need to get this thing staged, or I don't think we're going to get what they want to get for it. So I called up my stager was in Mexico. So I called another gal I had used, and she said she could get out there on Monday through Wednesday and get it staged with a cohort of hers. And so that's what they did. Barbara Wallace came out on Monday. So carpets were cleaned on Saturday. Sunday was Mother's Day. Monday was staging. Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday was photography and drone shots. And then we put together a little skit for the opening of the video at the tennis court for the community. Property has a park with a private tennis court there. So we filmed part of the cinematic video at the tennis court with me hitting a ball and making an introduction to the house, and then me catching the ball in front of the house. So anyway, and then we did a walkthrough video. So, but at the end of all of that, on Wednesday, so getting all the pictures back and everything, and I talked to the sisters, and they were good with listing at 800. And so at that point, I felt like it was shiny. It was a pretty shiny object. Maybe not the shiniest object because we don't have remodeled kitchens and bathrooms. It was literally vintage 1989. but it was clean vintage 1989, and you could move right in. I mean, the carpets had been stretched, so there was no wrinkles in the carpets. I mean, it looked good, you guys. And it was all white, vaulted ceilings, skylights.
Look at the before picture. It's so dark. And then after, and it's so white and bright.
Yeah. So if you notice the pictures that Dan's showing them on the screen, sorry, you guys on TikTok, you can't see them. I'll show you. This is kind of what we're looking at. You can see the before over here and then the after over here. And you can kind of see what a difference the staging makes, like this room here compared to that. It's really quite remarkable. And then here again, this is the dining room, and then what the dining room looked like before. Family room or living area versus what it looked like before. And then again, here's another shot of that living room, and then a shot of the bedroom. Stark difference. So
it's almost like the house. The difference is the house comes to life when you stage it.
Yeah,
it just comes to life.
It just looks put together. It's amazing what a good staging can do for a house. And I look at those photos and I'm just floored every time I put a listing on the market and we're usually staging them, guys. I mean, that's the process. It's one of the steps. And I like to follow my 12 steps for preparing a home for market. We did skip on this one a couple. We skipped for cleaning the roof and the gutters. That was mentioned in the inspection report that we did have done. We did have an inspection done, pre-inspection done. My clients opted to not fix anything on the inspection report.
And you had to have sent out 7 or 8 inspection reports on that, right?
7 or 8 inspection reports to agents that had requested them. So I was expecting 3 or 4 or 5 offers. We only got 2. We listed at 800. We ended up over 8, significantly over 8, between let's say 8.25 and 850. I'm happy with the outcome. I would have loved to have gotten 875 or 9. We did have one lady willing to go to 9.25. And we would have just needed that second offer to be higher to escalate her. So, but very happy for my clients. They did get their over 800, which I really wanted for them, for the mom. So extremely happy with the outcome. And to be fair, Dan and I walked that neighborhood. So on Thursday, we went on the market the day after the Rolling Stones were in town. Oh, and I went to that. That was good. So the next day, Thursday.
Somehow you were fresh as a daisy the next day. I don't know how you did that.
Fresh as a daisy.
Uh-oh, you froze. We got you frozen here. Oh. Well. We'll have to text Kat. I'll let her know that she's frozen. Let's see what we have here. Well, I can tell you what happened. And Kat has left the building. She'll be coming back in here in just a minute. But I can tell you what happened. We went out, walked the neighborhood, handed out flyers to all the neighbors. And it was a great idea because what we ended up doing is having the open house was from 5 until 6:30 on Friday night. And we had the neighborhood open house from 4:30 to 5:30. Maybe it was from 4 to 5. We had it from 5 to 7. I think that's what it was. But what it really did is it got a buzz going because we had some neighbors come in. And so once we had the official open house that was coming, we had people already touring the house, walking through, and it really gave a great aura, a great vibe of action. Stuff was happening. People were walking through. We were sending out inspection reports, And all that stuff was happening, and it really was a very, very successful open house. And we ended up getting, or Kat ended up getting, two offers on it, and one with an escalation clause, and it turned out working perfectly for a house that, quite honestly, before she started working on it, was a little, the inside needed to be staged. It needed to be cleaned, and the backyard needed to have the bark put down, and there were just things from a staging, from a presentation standpoint, that needed to be done to the house, and everything got taken care of. Looked like $1,000,000. Well, it almost was $1,000,000 by the time the offer came in. But anyways, oh, I'm getting old. I can't believe some of the prices out there these days, but it is what it is, and it's a beautiful neighborhood, beautiful house, and they're going to be moving in here in about a week and a half. So everything worked out great, and as Paul Harvey would say, now you know the rest of the story. Okay, so let's go over and take a look real quick at, while we're waiting for Kat to come back in, let's take a look at 10-year Treasury note chart that I think is, somewhat interesting. Don't want to bore everyone to death, but I do think it's fairly interesting. Let me get this all prepared here real quick. Give me about 10 seconds, and we'll get this up to speed here. Okay, there we go. Now let's share that. And we'll start to talk about interest rates for just a bit, because I do think we are at a turning point, and I could be wrong. But if you take a look at the 10-year Treasury, what you can see is that we had a peak here in late October, up at 5%, had a big drop into the end of the year. And then between the end of the year and late April, about 4 months, we had a rise in interest rates coming all the way back almost a full percentage point, about 90 basis points. And now it does look like we may be seeing a turning point. The reason I'm looking at possible turning point right now is, let's see if Kat has come back in. Nope. She must be having problems with her Wi-Fi. But what we're seeing is the 10-year Treasury peaking at 474, 473 back here in late April 25th. And it does look like we had 4 days this week of trading. I do think we're probably going to just hover up here, maybe go a little bit higher in rates, not much higher, and before rolling over again. And I think maybe that comes next week as we get closer to the employment report, which comes in next Friday, which is going to be a big report. Like for the next 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, every single employment report is going to be scrutinized very, very heavily. And I do think you're going to start to see, I think you're already seeing, not that you're going to start seeing, but you're already seeing evidence of some erosion in the employment market. And I think it's going to begin to accelerate. And we could talk about some details, but basically, as we begin to see, if we do begin to see some weakening in the employment market, I do think we're gonna see interest rates start to come down, and that's probably the number one deal. And the number one aspect to look for lower interest rates would be the employment market, because the Fed has pretty much stated that if we go above 4%, and Danielle DiMartino Booth, who I would definitely follow on YouTube, she's got her own YouTube channel. She's the CEO of QI Intelligence. formerly with the Dallas Fed. She does some great work, and she has mentioned that the internal numbers for employment have really slowed down quite a bit. They've been masked by the birth death adjustments that the Bureau of Labor Statistics makes, but when you filter that out, you really are seeing a significant slowdown in employment that is being masked by the headline numbers. But that's, they only have so much runway to be able to use the birth death numbers before it kind of goes away. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens for the next 6 months, to see if there is going to be some erosion in the employment numbers, and if there is, then we're probably going to continue to see lower interest rates. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, at least hoping that the interest rates come down. So until then, it looks like we've got a longer term problem with Cat's stream. So I think I'm gonna end it for today, and then we'll come back next Monday with another Cat and Dan show. Thank you very much for watching. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.